What's up, y'all? Welcome to this 20-minute yoga for runners class. So, I have been a runner for my basically entire life. I played lacrosse in college. I run half marathons, and I love to run. And obviously, I'm a yoga teacher, so blending the two has been something I've been super, super passionate about. Anytime I teach classes, anytime I teach runners, and so I figured, why not bring a yoga to runners class to this page? So, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Ashley. I will be your instructor. As always, in all my classes, I'm always going to have a Spotify playlist that you can play along with because I love to flow with music. And I normally have blocks, but today I'm going to stick with something that I know most runners have in their house, which is a foam roller. It can be big or as small as you like. I'm going to show you different ways to use it. We're not going to be rolling today. I'm going to do that in another class. But we are going to use it just to provide us a little bit of support as we move through our flow. So this is my roller. If you have one, feel free to bring it along. We're going to get started and go ahead and click play on that playlist and let's get into it, shall we? Okay, we're going to start in a comfortable child's pose, but we're going to modify it a little bit. So a lot of times runners have a hard time getting their hips all the way down to their heels. So I want you to take a little bit of a wider child's pose and then let your head rest on the floor. So there's going to be a little bit of space between your hips and your heels. You can have the tops of your feet down. You can have your toes tucked, but wherever you decide to go, I want you to try and relax as much as you can. And if you can find a full child's pose here, no problem, but I'm going to offer you a modified child's. Right? So the forehead is going to rest on the ground. If it does not comfortably touch the ground, take your foam roller, put it right beneath your chest, and let your forehead rest. Go ahead, take some deep breaths. In through the nose and out, out, out. Beautiful, y'all. One more deep breath here. And empty. Go ahead and walk your hands back. And you're going to come and stand on your knees. Bring your knees about hips width distance apart. And from here, we're just going to reach our arms up over our head, lift up. And then exhale, you're just going to twist over to the right. Yeah, left hand can come to right hip, right hand can reach behind you. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Yeah, inhale. Exhale, twist. Yeah, feel free to untuck the toes. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Just warming up the spine here. Inhale. Exhale. Another in. Another out. Couple more. At your pace, your breath. Good. Next one, inhale, come back up. Exhale, drop the hands down, all fours. Arch and round the spine. Breathing into this, taking your time. When you're arching, that gaze is lifting, full pulling through the chest, through the arms, and then exhale, really, really squeezing your navel in towards your spine as you round. Maybe you circle the head. Good. Breathe in here. And exhale, let it go. Now from here, you're going to bring your right hand down. Bring your left hand forward and your right knee back. You might have to bring that left knee a little bit closer to center to help you with balance. So we're going for a long straight line here. Fingertips are reaching forward. Left toes are reaching back. Yeah, really, really lifting in with the chest, almost creating that cat-like spine, rounding out through the back. Inhale here. And then exhale, just send your left hand out and your right toes out. So you're going out and then come back to center and then switch. So you're just turning that right foot outside your left foot. So out, out, and in. Whew. Already my core is burning out. And really just working on the mobility of that right hip, right? Getting us out of that forward and backwards sagittal plane that we're always in when we're doing our long runs, right? Out and in. Good. One more. Out, out, out as far as you can go. And in. Stay here. Bend your right knee, hook it right behind your left knee, and then just sit back. Sit back onto those calves. Your toes can spread out. We're just taking a cow-faced child's pose. You go as deep as you can here. Hold and breathe. 3. Breathe into the stretch in the hips. 2. And 1. Crawl on back forward. Go ahead and stretch that right leg out. Left hand out one more time. And then exhale, release. How do we feel? Okay? Woo, shake it out. Now let's do the other side, shall we? Right hand is going to go forward, left hand is going to go back. Now I'm going to move a little bit because I'm close to this wall. Good. Inhale, lift up, almost cat-like with the spine, right? Not dumping too much into the lower back. Push against the floor. Exhale, out. Whoo, out. Inhale, in. And cross. Good. Lift up, extend out. Whew. Lift up, cross it over. Yeah, as far as you can go. Inhale. Yeah, we're just working on that full mobility of the left hip. That's all we're going for. Ooh, good. Come on back, out. And in. Crisscross. One more out. Last one in. Go ahead and bend that left knee, hook it behind the right, crawl on back. Ooh. Careful of the knees. Little cow face, child's pose. As far as you can go. Good. It's easier if you separate your feet out a little bit wider. Yeah, but no need to force this. Just here for a couple breaths. Good. Stay for one more in. And exhale, crawl forward, forward, forward. Last time here, left foot back, right hand forward, lift up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Shake it out. Shake it out. Good, side to side. Nice. Now tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Heels to the floor, press into the ground. Pedal your feet. Really getting into the backs of those calves. Ankles to the floor. Beautiful. Bring your feet to touch. Swing your right toes up towards the ceiling. 3-legged dog. Inhale, circle out the ankle. And then exhale, big step through to the top of your mat. Drop to the left knee. We're going to come into a low runner's lunge, okay? Pause here. Get your footing. Get comfortable. And then bring your hands to rest on top of your left knee. Now, the priority of this stretch, of this posture, is to really get into the front of that left hip, okay? Those hip flexors are like screaming for a little bit of attention. So squeeze the belly in. I want you to get really, really tall with your spine, and then start to bend a little bit deeper into that right leg. Yeah, there's the stretch right there. I feel it. I feel it. Good. Keep engaging through the core. Good. We're starting with a few active stretches to get a little bit of heat, and then we're going to move into the more passive stretches that are going to help us balance out all that running, all the miles that we did. Good. Now, slowly, slowly, hands outside your right leg. Start to sit back into a half splits. Now, I did a really long run yesterday, so my hamstrings are like really, really tight. So take your time. One thing I like to do in this is bend and straighten. If you have blocks to go underneath your hands, it's a great place for them. If not, right here is perfect. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Yeah, and then as you start to feel like you're open a little bit more, pause in that straight leg. Now, toes are lifted up towards your shin. Do not forget about the stretch in the calf, all right? A lot of times this will happen, little lazy foot, flexion in the ankle, pull it back towards your face. Full stretch through that hamstring and the calf. Breathe into this. Good. One more deep breath. And we're just going to take a little bit of a twist. Left hand is going to stay inside your right leg. Bring your right hand to your hip. And you're just going to twist your right elbow towards the ceiling. Yeah. Keep that right hip facing down, right? Keep them square. You don't want that right hip popping up. Use the hand to twist it downward. Stay here and then exhale. Go ahead and crawl back to that low runner's lunge. You're going to pop up off of your back knee, high runner's lunge, and then swing your left foot so the left ankle hooks behind the right, pinky toes touch. I love to use my foam roller. Bring the floor a little bit closer to me. Fold. Good. Breathe into the back of that left leg. That's where the stretch is going to be the most prevalent. And then take the foam roller and just walk it over towards the right. Hips are going to reach to the left. Stretch to that IT band. Good. So much pressure goes onto the IT band when we're running, right? I've suffered from IT band syndrome for a long time. It can put a lot of pressure on your knees when there's a ton of fascia buildup. So these stretches are just so great to reverse some of that damage. Come back to center. Go ahead and unwind that left leg. And then bring your feet together to touch. Good. Inhale for a flat back breath in. Exhale, go ahead and move the roller, hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Let's do the left side now. Left toes are going to lift. Full breath in, circle the ankle round and around. And then big step through for your low lunge. Drop onto the right knee and tuck the toes. Go ahead and bring your hands on top of that left leg. Find your balance. And then breathe into that right hip flexor. Think about squeezing the core so it's nice and engaged. And then see if you can just bend a little bit deeper into that left knee while keeping that engagement. You'll notice the stretch in the front of your right leg. Good. Breathing into this in and out. A couple more breaths. Feel the stretch. Aiming to get that right hip a little bit closer to the floor. And exhale, hands down, half split, sit it on back. Now, just like we did on the other side, bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Ease into this stretch, y'all. Those hamstrings are we put a lot of pressure on them as runners, right? They are super powerful muscles. But they can be really delicate when you try to stretch them. So just be patient. And as you feel ready, stay. I'm not lying when I told you guys my run yesterday has got me feeling tight. All right, toes are lifted, flexion in the ankle, stretch through the calf. Hold here, 3 breaths. Good. Hands can be in fists on the floor. They can be palms on the floor. You go wherever you feel comfortable, okay? Good. And then this next breath is going to twist you. So the right hand is going to stay down. The left hand is going to come onto your left hip, and you're twisting your left elbow towards the ceiling while pushing that left hip down. Good. Just deepening that stretch. Hold here. 3 breaths in. Gaze up if you can. Good. 2 and 1. Start to rebend. Crawl forward. Tuck the back toes. Lift the knee. Pop up. Ankle behind ankle. Pinky toes touch. Good. Foam roller right in front of you. Hands on the floor. Breathe into the back of that right leg this time. We're back on the right side. Don't get me wrong, left leg is working, but the right leg is the one that's really being stretched here. And then exhale, you're going to take that roller or your hands and just walk over to the right, or to the left, excuse me. Right hips are going to reach to the right. Feel the stretch right down your IT band. That's exactly what we're going for here. Good. Keep both feet firmly on the floor. Come back to center. Back to center. Release that right leg. Feet to touch. Let it go. Shake it off. Good. Rise to stand. Little quad stretch. Nothing crazy. Right hand is going to grab right foot. Kick into your right hand. Good. Now we're not going into a dancer's pose, which is what we normally do when we're here in my classes. We're just staying in this quad stretch. I want you to think about pulling your right heel towards your booty as far as it can go, and then standing up tall in that left leg and breathing. Good. Again, belly is engaged, just like when we were on the ground in that low runner's lunge for the hip flexor stretch. The belly is engaged. You're kicking back. And then let it go nice and slow. Shake it off. Shake it off. And we'll switch sides. Left foot, left hand. Stand up tall. Grabbing onto that left foot. Good. Kicking left heel towards the booty. Belly is engaged. Pushing into the floor. Crown of the head lifting upward. That's where we're headed. Breathe. Good. One more in. Exhale, release. Shake it off. Shake it off. 3 more stretches to go, okay? Whew. Good. Go ahead and separate your feet about hips width distance. Take an inhale to reach up, gaze up. And exhale, dive over your legs. A little bend in the knees as you go. Good. Go ahead and move the roller for now. We're going to use it just in a second. Step it on back, downward facing dog. Now we're going to find our way into a half pigeon. The way I've always taught half pigeon to my clients is to take a foam roller, a pillow, a block, whatever you have available to you that can bring the ground a little bit closer. Put it right underneath your pelvis and then drop down onto it. This is just going to help pigeon feel a little bit more accessible as you bring that right shin parallel to the front of your mat. Now you can stay in this, and this can feel really good. Rolling. I love this stretch, just rolling forward and back. Really getting into that right hip. But if you're like, I think I just want to hang, or if you don't have a roller, go ahead and come down onto your forearms, or maybe even stay here. Yeah, and just breathe into the stretch into that right hip. I'm going to keep playing with rolling forward and backward. Yeah, really getting into all the tissues in that right side. Good. Couple more breaths here. Breathe into that right hip. If you'd like, you can tuck your back toes. Yeah, lift up off that knee and just play with this stretch. If you have a foam roller like mine, one of these trigger point ones, like half foam rolling, half hip opener, half, just really getting in there. Good. Go ahead and lift up off of your back toes, swing that right foot back and around, and we're going to switch sides. Good. So that foam roller is right underneath the pelvis, maybe right below the left butt cheek. Good. Hands can stay down, forearms on the floor. Good. Wherever you decide to go, see if you can stay there. We got about 5 to 8 breaths here. 8 to 5 breaths. Depending on how fast you breathe, which you do not have to breathe quickly. Take it nice and slow. Good. This should feel really good in that left hip. Take your time, work in that stretch. Good. backward and forward. Nice. Stay for one more breath. And then exhale, tuck the back toes, swing the left foot around, downward facing dog. Our last stretch, frog. Everybody's favorite. Go ahead and turn to the wide edge of your mat. If you have a blanket, you can put it underneath your hips to make this just a teeny bit more light on the knees, all right? Because sometimes the knees can get a little irritated. I'm going to stay just like this. Move back a little bit. Toes are out, heels are in. I like to have a foam roller right beneath my sternum. And then just let the chest fall towards the floor. Forearms are on the ground. Yeah, you're opening up through the inner thighs. Try to be aware of a drooping of the spine. See if you can stay engaged to the abs and then just move forward and backward. Yeah, and if you want to rest, you find that sweet spot, go ahead and move that roller exactly where you need it. This is our last stretch here, last posture here. About 20 more seconds. Stay, if you can. Ooh, the frog she's a doozy. She's a doozy, but it's so important as runners, those inner thighs, man. Give them some love, y'all. Give them some love. Good. Stay for one more breath in. And then slowly, slowly come up onto the hands. Good. Push into the toes. Bring the knees back together. Not a super graceful way to exit out of frog, unfortunately. Good. Find a seat. Shoulders back. Crisscross applesauce. The legs. Take a couple breaths. Exhale. And exhale, exhale, exhale. Hands to prayer. Right in the forehead. And together we say namaste. Namaste. Beautiful job, my runners, non-runners, whoever you are. Thank you for being here. There were going to be a lot more Yoga for Runners classes to come. So whether this is your first class with me or your 10th class with me, however many you've taken, thank you for joining. Please stay tuned. Lots more classes posted every day. Can't wait to have you guys come back for more. Don't forget to subscribe. Namaste, y'all. Thank you.